Alcime, this I vow to you. I will love you forever. In this life and the next, I promise you.
Jason.
Someone help us!
Training room! A sword!
I'll circle around. Meet you at the front. He doesn't leave the room! Kill the king!
Jason!
Captainitis! Protect the king! He's a black tongue, Jason.
Stay here, Iris.
Leave me! You men, go with the king! You're not done here.
Black tongues rise again.
Jason. It's over.
Let you go. I will find a way. Asame. I won't let you go. I will find a way. Asame. I won't let you go.
Did I not do everything you asked of me? Why then, here, of all places, on your sacred island, I do not accept it. If this is your will, I do not accept it.
Jason, your uncle was looking for you. He wanted to know when you plan to give last rites to Alcime.
If I send her spirit to the underworld, I'll never get her back.
Get her back? How?
I don't know how. I don't have the answers yet, but there must be a way.
I wish I had the answers to give you. But perhaps I know someone who could. Someone whose business is answers. The Oracle at Delphi.
Delphi?
If anyone would know, it would be her.
Yes, the Oracle. Master Argos finishes a great ship as we speak. It will serve.
Delphi's not easily found, it's said. Does he know the way?
I don't know, but I aim to find out. Come, we'll ask him ourselves.
Oh, remember, your uncle is ahead in the courtyard. He wanted to speak with you. I told him I'd let you know.
How can you be so cold? It's terrible enough what happened. Terra forbida.
There you are, Jason. It's good to see you out of that mausoleum. It isn't healthy to linger over the dead, nephew. Iolcus needs its king. Captain Idas has finished his investigation. Petitions await, and we must set a date to give last rites to Alcime.
There will be no date for that.
What? Jason, I am your uncle, and I care for you. The will of the gods may be a mystery to us all, but to deny Alcime her last rites is unnatural.
Until I'm certain there's no way to bring her back, I will not do it.
Bring her back? Alcime is dead. You seek the impossible.
Impossible? Orpheus convinced Hades himself to allow his wife to return to the living.
Orpheus made a deal with Hades, but he broke it. Eurydice never saw the light of day.
But she could have. Orpheus failed, but that does not mean Jason would if given the same chance.
I'm going to Delphi, Uncle. I'll find my answers there.
This is the despair of grief. You're not thinking clearly. Alcime would not approve.
Do not presume to say what she would think, Uncle. Alcime lies in the mausoleum behind me. I speak for her now, and I say she was a daughter of Ares. And if there is any way to bring her back, she would demand I find it.
I understand your ardor, Jason, but have you thought this through? Delphi is not found on any map. Find 100 charts, and each will point a different way.
I would trust Argos' charts above any other. Hercules and I will go ask him ourselves.
Very well. I know better than to argue with you when your mind is set. I will consult our records about the location of Delphi, in case Master Argos doesn't know the way.
Thank you, Uncle.
Delphi, I pray you find the answers you seek, nephew. I will go to the royal court and maintain some semblance of order there.
Like I said, they're mad. But why come here? Seems such a remote place to attack.
Plunder, perhaps.
But then why kill the princess on her wedding? They were sending a message to all of Greece. We must prepare for war.
Ione would not be so bold to live west of the conquest.
So I... So I thought.
There's plenty of rumors and tall tales flying about.
No. single stone will ever capture your beauty.
Yes. Humility. Olympus must see that we are humble men, lest such trouble visit our homes.
This is where I first met Alcime.
When you were children?
Yes. Her father, King Lycomedes, left her in the care of my father while he was at war. 10 years she lived here.
Alcime, come back! She is willful, King. You must watch her carefully.
She'll be safe here, Lycomedes.
Indeed. No one knows. Not even my advisors. Alcime!
Are you spying? Here, Father.
I see you've met young Jason.
King Lycomedes, sir.
Jason, word of advice. I know my daughter. You're going to have to keep your wits about you.
Come, Hercules.
What a view! You can see for miles here.
These men rest in Elysium.
On her wedding, no less. I think they were sending a message to all of Greece. We must prepare for war.
Ione.
She should be buried here, in the ancestral crypts of Iolcus. But they technically weren't yet married. My son has
Ione must be mad to risk the wrath of Zeus.
They are barbarians who worship the old gods. They don't even know.
They're mad.
The gods must be propitiated. There's no doubt this is a sign of their anger.
Hail, King Jason.
Captain Idas, how are you feeling?
Better, my king. My pride was injured more than anything. Was a time those Ionian dogs wouldn't have had a chance.
You fought bravely, my friend. The odds were great.
I've got 3 things for your attention, Jason. First, we have the results from our investigation of the attack. Second, I've just received a report of a disturbance in the village. And lastly, there's a private matter I would discuss with you.
Let's hear the investigation report.
I'm afraid it's both disturbing and disappointing.
What's the disturbing part?
The assassin bore all the markings of a Black Tongue. His dress, his weapons, his tattoos, and of course, his marksmanship. Jason, I went to that balcony. There's not a bowman in Greece who could have made that shot.
Disturbing indeed. And the disappointing part?
We still don't know why he came. The Ionians? That's easy. They're mercenaries. They came for plunder. But why Alcime was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it? We've learned nothing.
Idas, what do you know of the Black Tongues?
Just the common rumors, really. They're a cult that worships the dark titaness Hecate. Like the Ionians, they place the old gods above Olympus. For centuries, the Black Tongues were the most feared assassins in Greece. I don't know if you remember, but when you were a boy, Alcime's father, King Lycomedes, waged a war against the cult. Until this attack, everyone thought he had eradicated them.
Apparently not. The Ionians. Are we sure they were nothing more than hired mercenaries?
As far as we can tell. We traced this particular band back to Ithaca. They were there about a month ago to reprovision. Our sources say they spoke there of a new job they'd just been hired for. A well-paying job.
What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Zeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on Iolcus. His brother Menander fell during the attack.
Yes. I heard he was among the guests who were killed.
As you can imagine, Zeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Zeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
Aye. Well, he's down in the village shouting at anyone who will listen, demanding compensation for his brother. He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the report says there was a witch with him as well.
What is this private matter, Idas? You know you may speak freely with me.
Yes, well, it's time for me to step down, Jason. I'm not the man I once was. This attack made me realize I've grown old. I can't ask men to fight for me when I can't fight for them.
More than any man in Iolcus, you've earned the right to choose when your time has come.
I've got 3 men in mind who could do the job. The sooner you make your choice, the sooner I can start training them to take my place.
Let's see the men who would attempt to replace you.
Lieutenants Ivarius, Myron, and Platon, step forward. These 3 are equal in rank and seniority. I believe all 3 could do the job.
I've made my decision.
Who will it be then?
Lieutenant Platon, I name you Captain of the Guard. I want our men sharp and ready for any threat at a moment's notice. May you always be first in battle and last to stand in our defense.
You've made the right decision. I'll make all of Greece envy the might of the Yolkan Guard.
All three of you. I am grateful the Guard has men of your quality. Dismissed.
I thank you, Jason. I'm sure my wife, Cipriana, will thank you too.
After a few months with you around all day, she may change her tune.
I'd like to go tell her the news.
Of course. Let's finish our business, then you can go to the village. What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Zeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on Iolcus. His brother Menander fell during the attack.
Yes. I heard he was among the guests who were killed.
As you can imagine, Zeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Zeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
He's got a couple of men with him. And the guard who made the report says there was a witch.
Let's hear...
I'm afraid it's both disturbing and disappointing.
What's...
His... Jake...
Just...
But why Alcime was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it?
What? Yeah.
He's got a couple of men with him. And the guard... I'm afraid it's both disturbing.
What's...
But why Alcime was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it? We've learned nothing.
To be safe, let's keep the watch doubled, Titus.
As you say, Jason. Sir?
To be safe, let's keep the watch doubled.
As you say, Jason.
Nephew, what news?
Nothing yet. There's a disturbance in the village I must see to. And I must still speak with Argos.
When I have a moment, I will see what I can find about the location of Delphi.
Your palace would be at home among the great houses of Athens or Mycenae.
Sir, one of the villagers came by. Says this warrior in the village had a witch with him.
We'll see about that.
Hail, sir. There's reports of trouble in the village. Some foreign warrior demanding to see you.
I'll see to it. Thank you.
Welcome, King Jason. May the blessings of Apollo's light shine upon you. What can Pandora, a humble fortune teller and follower of the sun god, do for you?
What type of fortunes do you tell?
I ask a person questions about their relationships with their fellow man. Then I interpret their responses and align them with the constellations of the stars.
Let's see what fortune you can see.
A man's most difficult choices involve the relationships he has with others. Which of these relationships shall we explore first?
Let's discuss the bonds of family.
Two suitors vie for your daughter's hand. One is a prince who will lift your entire family in stature and wealth, but your daughter doesn't love him. The other is a lowly farmer whose land is poor, but whose heart is rich with your daughter's love. If she marries the prince, there will be peace for 100 years, but she will live a short and unhappy life. If she marries the farmer, she will live long and happily, but the land will be plunged into brutal warfare. To whom do you give your blessing?
I'd refuse to let my daughter marry either man, and so avoid both fates.
In this matter, your answer aligns with the constellation Centaurus, the Centaur. Of what shall we speak of next?
Duty to king and country. Let us speak of that.
You are a scout in a king's army. A neighboring kingdom threatens your border. A fragile treaty keeps the peace, and you have orders to honor it. On patrol, you spot a soldier from the opposing kingdom hurriedly racing back to his side of the border. From where he was on your side, you see a scratched pattern on the ground, a signal for an invading force. What do you do?
I would honor the treaty and my duty. I would finish my patrol and then make my report.
Your answer is guided by the constellation Libra, the scales. Of what shall we speak of next?
Speak of friendship, the bonds between comrades.
You are a poor guard, as is your closest friend. You learn that someone has stolen the devotional offerings from the local temple. You discover it was your friend who did this. His wife is very sick and requires medicine he cannot afford. He offers to split the money with you if you keep his secret. A large reward and a likely promotion await you if you arrest him. What do you do?
I would let him keep all the money. He's my friend and he has need. The temple be damned.
Here, I sense the stars of the constellation Lupus, the wolf, in your response. Now, we have only the matter of society to discuss. You are a shepherd. You suspect a neighbor who is neither kin nor friend of opening your gate and grazing his flocks on your land. This shepherd's pastures lie between yours and the great forest. The wolves have been emerging from the forest in force this year and have claimed many of his flock. The wolves have spared your sheep while they grow fat on his. What do you do?
I would first confirm the truth if the shepherd had trespassed. If so, I would then ask to hear his explanation before acting.
I feel the sway of the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor, in your answer.
So, Pandora, What fortune do you read in my responses?
For you, duty is not a matter of choice or condition. It is an absolute and has no room for interpretation. You understand that in all arguments, there are at least two sides. Cooperation and compromise are the keys to social peace. The bonds of friendship run deep with you. For friends in need, there is nothing you wouldn't do. You have a strong bond with family. You do not act independently of your family, but collectively, together. You are guided equally by the constellations. There is a balance to your fortune. Wherever your path leads, you will take measured steps. Your choices have shed much light on the man who stands before me. I hope you have found my humble fortune illuminating in some small way.
I did. Thank you. Does Apollo grant you the gift of foresight? Is that why you're a fortune teller?
I'm certainly not an oracle or even a seer, but I have some knowledge of the stars and their influence on men.
And besides prophecy, why else do you follow Apollo?
Oh, Apollo rules over much more than that. He is the sun god, he who commands the sun. Civilization, music, and order. All of these are noble things.
What of Apollo's virtues? Do they have an effect on your work?
Nobility of purpose, a studious and open mind, compassion. These are the virtues I strive to uphold. There is a reason good men ask Apollo to bless their shields. He favors those whose purpose is true and who fight only to defend what's noble and right.
I must be going, Pandora. Be well.
Apollo bless you.
Again, Jason. Watch your form. Should I have Alcime show you?
Alcime? I'll do it.
He forgets I'm a daughter of Ares, Captain Idas.
How can I, when you so often remind me?
I think he's distracted. I wonder what's got his attention.
Perhaps he'll tell us.
All this talking, that's what.
Here, Diaphanes, renowned architect, was shown by Apollo the temple and palace he was to build. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. And thus the palace of the kings of Iolcus was built to honor the vision he had been given. Here was born Amphinome, wife of King Trion. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king. And so she became queen of Iolcus. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king. And so she became queen of Iolcus. My mother. A fine queen indeed.
Look who finally decides to grace us with his presence! King Jason himself! It only took you all day!
You'll lose your voice shouting like that, Zeno.
My righteous anger will not be silenced by the likes of you! Thessaloniki will be satisfied! The memory of my brother demands it!
I am sorry for Menander's loss. May he find his way to Elysium.
Not good enough! No, not by a long way, King of Iolcus. There must be compensation, tribute! Your lands here are rich. Your herds are fat. Clearly you've grown soft with Zeus's favor shining down upon you. Things are much different on the rocky soil of Thessaloniki. A hard life makes men tough. But you Iolcans wouldn't know about that.
Save your insults, Thessalonian. Why don't you just say what it is you want?
I will bring my brother's body home. And with it, my ship will be full of Iolcan wheat and sheep. And then, each year, on the anniversary of Menander's death, you will send 10 girls on the cusp of womanhood to me. Never! This is what I demand in tribute to the memory of my murdered brother.
I will see your ship loaded with grain and sheep. I know the people are hungry in Thessaloniki, but no Iolcan girls will ever be paid in tribute to you or anyone else.
You tell him, King Jason! I am not here to negotiate. If you refuse my demand, then my men and I will take our own revenge!
You do so at your peril.
Believe that. Then the time for peril has come!
Name your terms.
My men and I against you and your behemoth. Your guards will take no retribution against me after I kill you. When you fall, I take my brother's body and the tribute I have named back to Thessaloniki.
No, don't do it.
And your stake?
I hold here my brother's mace, a weapon worth more than anything on Iolcus. Blessed by Poseidon himself. This will be my stake.
No one wants it.
No. You will swear here and now, before these witnesses, that your family will make no further claim for tribute. Should any try to do so, they will forfeit the honor of your family name.
Very well. So I swear. So swears Zeno of Thessaloniki.
Tell us when. You boys take all the time you need.
Jason of Iolcus dies today! Kill them! Finish it, you Iolcan dog!
Take your brother home, Zeno.
I won't forget this, Jason.
Leave the mace.
What?
Your stake. Do you forget?
Bah! A curse on Iolcus!
It is a fine mace. Do you think it really was blessed by Poseidon?
Who knows?
One thing's certain. It'll see more honor with you than that fool.
Be careful, King Jason. He had a witch with him earlier. She may still be around.
A witch.
You don't know that, Thaddeus.
You should have seen her. Markings all over her body. And she was asking about the assassin.
More like demands, really. Did any of us see him? Where did he come from? She was very interested, all right.
And what she looked like?
Strange. Foreign-like. No Iolcan woman would wear the dress she's wearing, I'll say that.
And she's got these markings, tattoos and such all over. Legs and feet and arms and face.
Dark hair, piercing eyes. Clean her up a bit. She could be passably fair, I suppose.
Why, you dirty old goat. That's enough of you.
Yanula, please. I'm just trying to give the king a good description.
Did she say what her purpose was?
We asked that. She said, wolves always hunt in packs. Thought that a strange reply myself.
Mostly, she was just pressing. Almost brought my wife to tears. She's keen on it, I tell you. Intense. Like she's got urgent business.
Where is she now? Did you see her leave?
That we did. That Zeno man was yelling up a storm, and I saw her slink off.
It was real strange. She had her ears perked, like she was listening for something. Then, all of a sudden, she pricks up, and she was off like a bolt toward the Crypt of Kings.
I heard her say under her breath, "I've got you now," as she ran off. I swear on Olympus.
Thank you. I'll find her and see what she's up to. Here landed King Trion's spear, humbling the Athenian Colosseum. Drunk from the king's feast, the famed warrior boasted that no yoken man could match his throw. For the honor of his kingdom, King Trion took up his challenge. Great Athena lent Trion her skill, and he unleashed a throw so mighty that boastful Polyside was stricken mute with shame.
I was raised in a village like this, a long time ago.
Here lies the Crypt of Kings, the final resting place of the royal family of Iolcus. In this crypt are kings and queens, wardens and champions of Zeus. May their honor live forever.
Live on your many Faboiae!
The great Medea, how far the mighty have fallen. Your power has grown feeble.
Has it?
Are you all right?
I am weak, but it will pass.
That Black Tongue called you Medea. I assume that's your name?
It is.
It's time for answers, Medea.
Then ask your questions, Jason.
Your sorcery nearly killed all of us. Do you have no control over it?
There was a time no follower of Hecate could hope to match me. But once I abandoned the witch goddess, her protections abandoned me.
You were once a Black Tongue?
You see the markings I still bear. Are they not answer enough? In another life, I was one of them, until I realized the powers I gained came with a terrible price. When I heard of the attack here, I came as quickly as I could. Their assassins never work alone.
Medea, do you know why the Black Tongues targeted my wife?
I don't know why, but I know this is not their first attempt. They tried before when she was a babe on Mycenae.
What?
When your wife was born, King Lycomedes traveled to Delphi and spoke to the oracle Pelagia. Whatever he was told, it got the Black Tongue's attention. assassins were dispatched to both Mycenae and Delphi. Lycomedes thwarted the attempt on your wife, and the assassin Lysander failed to eliminate the Oracle Pelagia. It's said he fell in love with her, and together they fled, never to be seen again.
So that's why Lycomedes waged his war.
Yes. His name was cursed by every Black Tongue in Greece.
I seek to restore my wife. Your knowledge of the Black Tongues could prove useful.
If you try to bring her back, the Black Tongues will flock to you like moths to a flame. There'd be no need to chase after them.
Go to my ship. Tell Argos to give you a room.
Jason, are you sure about this?
Your friend is right, Jason. I am not safe to be around. I sometimes lose myself, as you have seen.
You underestimate me.
No, it is you who underestimate me. Believe me, today was a good day. You don't want to see my bad days. There would have to be precautions taken.
Then we'll take them.
Very well, King of Iolcus. I will hunt with you and lend what aid I can. I will prepare the wards to secure your ship.
Far too much sorcery being cast about for my liking. Why did you ask her along, Jason? How can you trust her?
There are forces at work we know little about. Prophecies, Lycomedes, the Black Tongues. Knowledge I can hold on to is an advantage. Besides, you saw what she did to that assassin. This is the war armor of the kings of Iolcus, last worn by my father, Trion. I have never had occasion to don this armor. I'd hoped I never would. But Iolcus needs me now. Her queen needs me. The journey ahead may be difficult. This piece of Iolcus will journey with me.
When the way ahead looks daunting, remember who you fight for. Iolcus is more than its fair fields and proud bluffs. It is mother to us all. We do not stumble over mountains, my son. We stumble over stones. Step safely over every stone, and you will cross the mountain.
Now, to see about our ship and Delphi. To the docks.
You ever wish for a normal life, Jason? Now that is a boat!
Greetings, King Jason. I am the dockmaster, Nestus. May Athena's 5 virtues be with you always.
You work for Argos?
Yes, sir. I manage the docks and help out with riggings and sails, mainly. I did some work on that pulley system he's put aboard your ship.
Is Argos about?
He's aboard, sir, tending to some final preparations. He mentioned if I saw you to let you know he's ready for your inspection. I can row you out there if you wish.
Thank you, Nestus.
Jason, how are you? My heart broke when I heard what happened. This ship was to be a wedding gift. Now it's something else, I suppose.
Perhaps it still will be, Argos. Is she ready to sail?
Aye, she's girded and fit for open waters.
Good. I have her maiden destination. Delphi.
Delphi? What in Hades do you want to go there for?
I have questions that need answers. Answers I can only find on Delphi.
Argos, do you know the way?
I've sailed most every patch of sea in Greece, but I've never seen the shores of Delphi. Part of me thinks it's just a myth.
There are tales of heroes who've been there.
Aye, and each claims it's in a different place. I'm sorry, Jason. I can't steer you there.
Elias said he would look into it. We should check back with him.
Now what about this Medea woman? She says you told her to come aboard. Nearly scared me half to death. She just walked up behind me in the deck house. No rowboat, no nothing.
It's all right. She'll be coming with us to Delphi.
It's your ship, but you need to see what she's done to her quarters below decks.
Very well, Argos. I will.
It's irregular.
This ship's a sight to see. Let's have the tour.
Certainly. We can start right here. Now, you've already seen her size. She's the biggest ship I've ever made. She's also the fastest, mind you, but we'll get to that. The hull is soft fir wood, light and strong, and resin-coated to keep out the sea. I've made a few modifications to the classic structure to make room for the rowing apparatus, but we've kept a shallow draft in case she needs to be beached for repairs. I told you before, this ship can row itself. Come, I'll show you how. Here, Jason. Take a look down here and tell me what you see.
Ropes, pulleys, oars. I've never seen anything like it.
Of course you haven't. No one has. A ship that can row itself. One man, me, to take the place of 200 hunchbacked oarsmen.
How does it work?
It's taken me half a century to answer that question. More time than we have. Come, I'll show you the deck house. If the ore deck is the heart of this ship, then this room is the head. As long as we have a clear view of the stars, we'll never be lost. I can assign destinations to the various constellations, and this ship will remember how to sail there. And once we've set a destination, the ship will maintain our course without a steersman.
Amazing.
Indeed. Now, let's go below. You'll find no cramped bunks down here. With the automated ores, we have space to live comfortably. Spacious cabins with room enough for all. Here, there's a chamber to store all your equipment. At the prow end. Well, come, I'll show you.
Finished the runes of warding.
So I see.
They are attuned to you, Jason. Only you can remove them. As long as they remain active, neither I nor my powers can leave this room. However, I can still prove harmful to anything inside these walls.
I'd like to know more about the Black Tongues.
Such as?
Tell me about how the group is organized.
The Black Tongues are ruled by the secretive Council of Ravens, each of whom is a formidable sorcerer. The exact number of ravens is unknown. They decide the actions of the group and communicate those orders to their subordinates. The lower ranks remain ever ready should a mission be given to them. The Black Tongues seek their recruits from the farthest corners of the world, promising paradise in Tartarus. Their agents live in secrecy, and they can strike anywhere at a moment's notice.
The Black Tongues wield strange sorcery. You're proof of that. What are they capable of?
Hecate's dark powers are formidable. They are nearly all destructive in nature. The Black Tongues use tattoos, blood magic, and rune glyphs to channel Hecate's power. Advanced assassins can even summon monstrous creatures, like the one you saw in the crypt. However, this requires a sacrifice of blood, and so this power is reserved for only the most urgent of missions.
Tell me again about how the group is organized.
The Black Tongues are ruled by the secretive Council of Ravens, each of whom is a formidable sorcerer. The exact number of ravens is unknown. They decide the actions of the group and communicate those orders. Their agents live in secrecy, and they can strike anywhere at a moment's notice.
What motivates the Black Tongues? What do they believe in?
They worship the Titaness Hecate, the dark witch goddess of sorcery and deceit. They refuse to acknowledge the supremacy of the Olympian gods and seek to overthrow them. Through rituals of pain and sacrifice, her followers yield their very spirits to Hecate in exchange for sorcerous powers. They believe that one day Hecate will gain supremacy over both the living world and the underworld. Until then, they obey orders fanatically, believing that they will find a paradise in Tartarus should they die.
How did the Black Tongues come to be?
Long ago, the Black Tongues carved a path of blood to become the best assassins in Greece. They have spent ages cultivating the arts of poison, stealth, and sorcery. Their numbers are small, and they prefer it that way. Secrecy is what has allowed them to survive for so long. Even Lycomedes himself was unsuccessful when he tried to stamp them out many years ago. They simply receded into the shadows until the danger passed.
How did you come to be a Black Tongue?
My father was King Aedes of Colchis. He had no time for daughters, so I was often left to myself. One day, when I was 12, my father decided he would marry me to a neighboring king. My suitor was nearly 60. On our wedding night, I murdered him when he came to my bed. Then I ran. For years, I lived alone, but I vowed never again to be powerless. The Black Tongues found me, and at the time, what they offered was intoxicating.
Power can be that way.
Eventually, I realized there was a price to all things. I had thought I was gaining power, but I was being made a thrall. I was that 12-year-old girl all over again. But this time, it was a titan slipping into my bed. It comes and goes in waves. Perhaps we could speak more later.
Of course. I'd like to know more about the Black Tongues.
Such as?
Tell me again.
Their agents live in secrecy, and they can strike anywhere at a moment's notice.
I hope you're comfortable here. Let me know if you need anything.
I will.
Never had a shrine like this on a ship before. But, as you requested, here it is.
What you've done is wondrous, Argos. I've never seen a finer ship. She has no rival in all of Greece.
I would not boast, but I wouldn't argue with you either. Everything I've ever learned about sailing on the seas, I've put into this ship. There's one thing I'd ask of you in return.
Name it.
Let me sail her for you. I know this ship better than anyone.
Need you have asked, Argos? There's no one else I'd rather have steering this vessel.
Thank you, my king.
One more thing. It's only right that you be forever remembered with your masterpiece. So let it bear your name. I hereby name this ship the Argo. Long may she sail the seas.
Jason, you do me too much honor.
You've earned it, Argos.
Thank you, Jason. Now, I'll leave you to have a look around yourself. I'll be above decks if you need me. So, you see what that woman did down there?
It's all right, Argos. It's for our protection.
It's your ship.
Keep the ship ready. We'll go see if Pelaius has learned how to get to Delphi.
That boat will turn heads in every port from here to Athens.
King Jason, I am Agathe, widow of Thano, one of your servants killed in the attack.
I'm sorry for your loss, Agathe.
Life goes on. I have decided to take my son, Sinon, to my homeland of Thrace. I have family there. So I have a favor to ask of you.
Of course.
My husband's closest friend, the servant Photios, survived. Would you speak with Photios and have him bring me Thanos' belongings?
I'll see that Photios does as you request.
Thank you, Warden. Tell Photios not to forget Thanos' flute. I mean to give it to Sinon. Tell Photios not to forget...
On this spot did King Iolcum slay the Phrygian war chief. Turning back the marauders, Iolcum defended the sacred sites of Zeus from harm. The Phrygians were scattered to the seas, never to threaten again.
Greetings.
Well met. Is this your home?
I am Anason, father of Pathrus and Timaeus, two of your guards.
I know of Pathrus, a fine soldier.
Timaeus, my youngest, is newly joined. I trust they'll both do their duty by you. Next time you see them, tell them to keep doing me proud.
I will pass along your blessing.
Thank you. They get out of line, you let me know.
Who says I can't?
Hail, sir.
Hail, sir.
Don't bother the warden. Don't mind him, sir. He's just some fool kid.
It's no bother. What's your name?
Sinon. Reporting for duty, sir.
Excuse me?
I'm here to join the guard, sir. You must need replacements after the attack. I'm ready to serve.
How old are you?
Old enough to wield a sword and shield.
But not yet a razor, it would seem.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Sidon. Come back in a year or two.
King Jason, I beg you. My father was one of your servants. He died in the attack. Now my mother wants to leave for Thrace. I won't do it. Let me fight for you. Let me avenge my father.
You have ambition, Sidon. I like that. But the road to the guard is a long one. I'll put in a word with Captain Idas that you be trained as an apprentice.
An apprentice? But I want to join the guard. I want to honor my father.
All new recruits first serve as apprentices. There's much you can learn by polishing armor and sharpening blades.
You only say that because I'm young. You're making a mistake. One day I'll be the best warrior on all of Iolcus. You'll see.
Strange lad.
Insolent, too.
He means well, I'm sure. Come, Hercules.
Yes, Warden. Is there something I can do for you?
Does Apollo grant you the gift of foresight? Is that why you're a fortune teller?
I'm certainly not an oracle or even a seer. But civilization.
I must be going.
Jason, I found something.
The way to Delphi?
Perhaps. It's an old chart, crude and rough, but it does show an island marked only as Oracle's Rock. It lies far to the west.
To the west?
I've sent the chart down to Argos at the ship. At least it might offer a place to start your search.
Thank you, Uncle.
Jason, what of Iolcus? Your journey may take some time.
You can watch over her, Pelias. I trust you.
My place is as an advisor, not a leader.
It won't be forever. Besides, you're more suited to hear petitions than anyone.
If this is truly your will, then I cannot say no. So be it, Jason. I live to serve.
I knew I could count on you. Now all that's left is to take my leave of Alcime in the mausoleum.
Medea should be aboard the ship by now.
Medea?
A former Black Tongue. She has agreed to journey with us. Her knowledge should prove valuable.
Jason, are you sure? Once a black tongue, always a black tongue.
I trust her, and she'll be watched. Don't worry.
Things have happened so fast. I see great deeds ahead of you, Jason. Do not worry about Yulkus. Anyone who would do her harm must come through me.
I heard he fought like a lion.
Attacking Yolkus?
Zeus protect you.
And you, Photios.
Barbarians who
I spoke with the widow Agathe. She asks that you collect her husband's things and bring them to her.
Of course, but it may take some time.
Plunder, perhaps.
There is one thing that could be delivered sooner. Thanos' last message to his wife. I was at his side when he died, and I heard his final words. But it isn't an easy message to bear.
Someone has to do it. The woman deserves that much. If you can't, I will.
I don't envy you the task. What he told me as he lay dying was that he always loved Agatha, even though he was not always faithful. He hoped she would remember him as a good man, if not a perfect one, and find it in her heart to forgive him. You see, not the easiest matter to address.
It is delicate. I'll give this message to Agatha.
Why kill the princess on her wedding, no less? I think they were sending a message to all of Greece. We must prepare for war.
Ione was not.
Sir, I'm sorry. We were just talking idly.
It's all right.
It's just that we've heard so many rumors about what happened. I don't know what to think.
The threat is over. The danger is past. As for who is responsible and why it happened, leave that to myself.
Of course, sir. It's a comfort to hear that from our warden.
Warden, sir. Forgive us. We were speaking of matters that do not concern us.
What happened here concerns us all. We need not apologize. When we have certain knowledge of what took place, it will not be kept secret from the people.
You are as kind as you are wise, sir.
Hail, sire.
Guard Pathras, what troubles you?
Grief, my king, for your loss and for mine. My younger brother Timaeus was killed in the attack.
Timaeus was your brother? He leapt in front of me and took an assassin's arrow. He died in valor.
His ambition went beyond a noble death. Captain Idas had just promoted him to be the Guard's standard bearer. And now this.
What of your father Mnason? You haven't told him?
I simply lack the words, King Jason. And the courage. I would rather face the gates of Tartarus than break this news to my father.
Timaeus died for me. It's my responsibility to tell your father. Guard Pathrus. See that the spear of the Yulkan standard bearer is sent to your father in honor of Timaeus' sacrifice.
Such an honor would no doubt ease his suffering. My thanks to you, King Jason.
Barbarians who worship the old gods. They don't even acknowledge Zeus.
Like I said,
you'd have a king like Medes.
Your builders are skilled to have remade the temple so quickly.
Gods of Olympus, I make to you this vow. I will not see Iolcus again until I have found a way to bring her back. Bless and guide me on the voyage to come. Protect Alcime, and watch over my kingdom until I return.
I think now would be a good time.
Who's there?
Jason, King of Iolcus, Warden of Zeus. I am Apollo.
Apollo?
Your patron gods support your purpose. I speak for myself and my fellow Olympians, Ares, Athena, and Hermes.
A great injustice has been done to you. To murder a bride during her wedding is a crime that defies all virtue.
And it was my descendant who was killed. Alcime is a daughter of Ares. She must be avenged.
Your purpose is an unusual one. To restore the dead breaks rules both human and divine.
Come, Jason. We each would speak to you and grant you our blessings. Approach these statues so that we may speak further.
Ares, Lord of Battle, I thank you for your support.
Perhaps you can find a way to bring her back. Perhaps not. But there is one thing certain. The Black Tongues will stand against you. The only question a warrior ever need ask is, who is my enemy? Now that you know yours, put your mind to the battle ahead. I'll count every Black Tongue death a worthy offering.
And what of your boon, Ares? Have you nothing to offer Jason before his quest?
Boons. Unlike you, Athena, the Lord of Battle does not offer gifts. The Lord of Battle rewards the worthy.
I would think Jason's actions following the murder of his wife would have pleased even you.
Against Ionians. Ha! Let him fight my own warriors. Then I'll judge his worthiness. Warden, to the west of your palace lies the cave of Amalthea. Long has it been sealed, and with it, the challenges that lie inside. Go there if you wish to earn my boon. A warrior who thinks long lives short. Trust your instincts, Warden.
Swift Hermes, thank you for your support.
Let us speak of the unknown, Jason. Let us speak of death, the greatest unknown there is. Your wife has not been given last rites. I cannot guide her to the underworld. In time, her body will return to the earth, and her spirit will lose its way. If she lingers long enough, she will be lost forever.
Then I must hurry.
You interest me, Jason. I admire how you embrace the impossible. Should you accomplish what you seek, all the rules will have changed. I will see that you're given a chance. I will watch over Alceme's spirit and protect her body for a time. Let that be my gift to you.
Hermes, thank you.
It won't last forever, Jason. Remember, sooner or later, all messages must be delivered. Strength wanes, beauty fades, only wit grows day by day.
Sun God, Apollo, I am grateful for your support.
Your purpose is a noble one, driven by a pure and true love. Never lose hope, Jason, even in the dark times that lie ahead. With hope in his heart, man can accomplish the impossible.
I travel first to Delphi, to consult with your oracle.
She will help you find your way.
We are not sure of the route. Can you tell me where Delphi lies?
Delphi cannot be found through any chart. Delphi only exists for those who truly need it. You already know the way to Delphi, Jason. When you set sail, steer where your heart tells you. If your resolve and your purpose are true, you will find what you seek.
Thank you, Apollo.
Remember, Jason, an open mind is infinitely more powerful than a closed fist.
Wise Athena, your support fills me with hope.
Your path to this point has been a virtuous one. But obstacles lie ahead that will challenge the very principles you hold dear. Take care that in saving your wife, you do not lose yourself.
I understand.
May your spear never be lost so long as your path is righteous. That is my gift to you.
I am honored.
Preparation is the spear whose point is victory. Do not forget.
You have spoken with each of your patron gods. May your deeds be honorable.
your actions just.
Your battle valorous.
And your travels fraught with excitement.
We will be watching, Jason. Now, everything depends on you.
I've been thinking, Jason.
You and me both.
The road ahead may be long and difficult. What I mean to say is, I want to help.
I've been waiting for you to step forward and sign on. Took you long enough.
You knew from the start I was with you. Just waiting for the right time is all.
Hercules of Thebes, I thank you. I am forever in your debt.
There's no debt between friends. I know you do the same for me.
We may have to check with Argos. See how much weight his ship can handle.
Very amusing.
In the ancestral crypts of Iolcus. But they technically weren't yet married.
Like I said, they're mad. But why come here? Seems such a remote place to attack.
Plunder.
He saved Elpis. That's what she said.
Your father was a great man. I am sorry, Jason.
He's with my mother now. In Elysium. He lived a life of honor.
My father was very upset when he heard the news. Said that Greece had lost a great king. I agree with him, but I also think Greece has gained a great king. You outrank me now, King Jason. I don't know if I like it.
Alcime, marry me.
What?
Let the next words you say be I will. When you return to Mycenae, return as Queen of Iolcus. Marry me, Alcime.
Yes, Jason. With all my heart. Yes.
I will find a way. Come. Here did Iolcum, favored of Zeus, defeat the giant Typhor to claim these lands. Iolcum vowed that he and his descendants would forever honor Zeus and protect his sacred island. And so was founded the Kingdom of Iolcus. Here lies the entrance to the cave of Amalthea. Fearing the jealousy of Cronus, Rhea gave to Amalthea her infant son Zeus to hide and protect. In this hot refuge, Amalthea nurtured the newborn god. Safe from the sight of Cronus, the cries of Zeus were masked by the sounds of the moving rock and the searing flame. Glory to Amalthea, who saw that Zeus was safely raised until he could challenge his father Cronus. Here we are. The challenge of Ares awaits inside. What do you think, Hercules? That boulder too big for you?
What, that overgrown pebble? Nothing to it.
I must go alone.
Right. Then I'll wait for you here. Watch yourself, Amora. inside your chest. So may your warrior's hardiness be as strong as the stones that surround us. My boon to you.
Thank you, Lord Ares.
One more thing. The one-time black-tongued witch who sits in your ship must be protected. Without her, you will have no hope of success.
What do you mean? Ares?
I take it you passed Ares' test.
If I hadn't, I would have never left the cavern.
Ah, Ares. Something different about you. You look healthier, stronger. What happened in there?
Ares gave me his boon. A warrior's health and hardiness.
Now that's a boon that should prove useful in the journey ahead.
Greetings.
I bear sad news, Mnason. Your son Timaeus is dead.
Dead?
He lost his life in my defense. I did not know his name until your son Pathrus told me.
I see.
Your son had recently been chosen as our standard bearer. Did the guard deliver his spear? The spear upon which is borne the Yolkin standard.
Aye, it was sent down. Thought I was meant to hold it for Timaeus. My son, he was... Since he was a boy, it was the guard this, the guard that. All he ever wanted was to serve you. Though he no longer lives, that spear may still serve. Please, keep it in his name.
In Timaeus' name, I accept this spear. And let he receive the glory of the work it does.
You do my family honor. Should you see Pathrus again, tell him I know he did all he could.
I'll see that Pathrus comes to visit you himself.
Did you see Photios?
I did. He related your husband's final words to me.
What?
His message was simple. He loved you. Always. From the moment you met. He asked that you remember him as a loving husband and father, and hoped his son Sinon would live to honor him.
Thank you for telling me, King Jason.
If there's anything I can do.
My son and I have each other. Nothing else can help right now.
May Athena's 5 virtues be with you.
Tell me of your devotion to Athena.
What would you like to know?
Athena's wisdom must prove a help when dealing with old Argos.
That it does. But that's not the only province of Athena's rule that I take interest in. Athena is the goddess of justice. In the village, I hear petitions too trivial for your attention. She is also the goddess of crafts, strategy, and military war. All worthy disciplines. Truly, the domains of my goddess form the core of good society.
You mentioned the 5 virtues of Athena. What are they?
Wisdom, justice, courage, discipline, and humility. These are the 5 virtues of a worthy life. I strive each day to achieve these qualities. Some days are harder than others.
Row us out to the ship, Nestus.
Of course, sir.
Jason, your uncle had a chart sent down.
What do you think, Argos? Look accurate?
It looks ancient, is what it looks. If we follow it, we'll be going further west than anyone's ever sailed before.
Never mind the chart. I know the way.
All right. Then, I suppose we're ready to sail.
Set an eastern course. I'll tell you when we need to adjust.
But your uncle's chart indicates Delphi lies to the west.
East, Argos. Delphi lies to the east. I know it.
As you say, Jason.
The time has come. We make for Delphi, land of Apollo's oracle. To sea.
No warden has ever fallen in battle on Yolkan soil. Once we set sail, that protection will leave you. You may never again know the grace of Zeus.
If that's the price to bring back Alcime, then I will pay it.
I understand. Well, Jason, this is how legends often start. Aboard a ship, heading out to sea. You should have brought a poet.
How quickly the prophecy has come to fruition.
Yes, Master Pelias. But what of your nephew? What if the Oracle shows him a way?
Let him search. Don't you see? He's left the island and taken that traitorous witch Medea with him. We could not have dreamed for better circumstance.
Master Pelias, you wish to speak with me?
Captain Idas, you have retired, I hear.
I am guiding my successor. When he is fit to assume command, I plan to step down. Yes.
Iolcus will miss your leadership, but there is one task more that she must ask of you. Despite your investigation, I still wonder if some of our own people didn't aid the assassin.
Impossible.
I pray that you're right. Nonetheless, redeploy all existing members of the Guard to the southern plains. We will establish a new and trustworthy force to secure the palace.
Sir, my men are loyal.
I did not ask for your opinion, Captain. The safety of Iolcus is my duty now. That is all.
Your bidding, Master.
Go, Skiav. Follow Jason to Delphi. Let us hear what the Oracle tells our young king.
It will be as you say.
Still don't know how we made it through that mist. And don't know if I'd want to try again.
Very few ever see these shores. Remember, Jason, what an oracle says and what an oracle means are not always the same thing.